Tag team strikes, we connect through the pain. Rolling 2 dice in the echoes of rain. Hope in my chest, fear in my hand. Armor all cracked, but we taking a stand. Stress building up like the stories we weave. Every experience a mark that we leave. Connection questions mark where we've grown. Not just in combat, but when we're alone. From campaign frames to memories lost. We paying for the truth, but never count the cost. This is Sage Touch. This is Sage Touch. Let the sage. Welcome to the sage. This is Sage Touch.
And welcome to this episode of Sage Touched, everyone. We're back after the
hello.
break. Gosh, man. How are you guys?
I'm good.
I'm doing great, dude.
I'm doing great.
You guys recover from GenCon?
Oh yeah. Slept
Yep.
in. Did an ice bath. It was actually freaking perfect.
Yeah, I am not there yet. I'm still trying to recover. My voice is at least, and I'm still trying to recover on sleep. Like I'm falling asleep as soon as I get home from work. Still, like I'm dead tired. Anyways, welcome everybody to the Sage Touched. For those who are live currently in chat, feel free to say hi. We'll have to shout you out, see who's here. In this episode, we are going to talk about all the Daggerheart news because there's so much Daggerheart news. But let's talk about some announcements. First one being, there's a new person.
There's a
like, right
third.
over
Yeah,
here.
there's a person somewhere. I don't know where it ends up. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, he's over here onto my screen.
Adam has joined Bladebound. Adam, who are you?
I'm Adam, as you said. No, I've known Daniel and AJ for a long time. We all went to school together, played D&D together, and I have been a happy observer and slight helper with Bladebound up to this point. But yeah, we took it to the next step. We put a ring on it, if you will, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just got I was gonna say a comment about cherries and Bladebound and all that stuff, but I don't know where that comment would have gone. So we're just
Cherries
moving.
and I don't even. Okay. I don't know where that would have gone.
I think at this point, the only place that anybody would recognize me from is not my face, but just the Scapegoats. I did the voiceover for that, so that's
For those who have seen the intro, Adam is the voice of the Scapegoats, Grick the Powder Monkey, Delia the Tiny Tank, all that jazz.
Welcome.
But yeah, so with that, with a new member, basically what that kind of all entails is more stuff coming to the channel. You all have been loving Duality and the Sage Touch, but we need to kind of crank up some Daggerheart stuff in here. So right now we're working on some build guides. We're working on some kind of finishing out the Duality season, as there's 3 episodes left. Tomorrow Fitz's episode drops. And yeah, if you want to be notified of anything in regards to the new content, always don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. But also join the Discord, because you get notified every time something new happens. And yeah, any other announcements? Hold on, I need to look through the announcements. Do you guys all have that the log
Yeah,
sheet?
we have CreatureCon.
That's
Is
right.
an announcement. CreatureCon is in September, 26th through 28th, and I don't actually know what CreatureCon is,
It's a
Daniel. Would you
virtual
like to-
con. Yeah,
It's virtual
all
con.
virtual con.
Oh, okay.
So, you all know about Incredible Creatures, the art-based adversary compendium for Daggerheart, which we posted on the channel a handful of times. But with one of the Kickstarter goals, we reached CreatureCon, which on September 26th to 28th, A handful of GMs are going to be taking those adversaries, throwing them in encounters, and then running it for you all to play in. So if you're interested in CreatureCon, I believe you can still get tickets, even though if you haven't backed the Kickstarter. And then for those who backed the Kickstarter, that's one of your stretch goals that you can add into your backer kit. So if you're excited for CreatureCon, that is just over 2 months away, which creeps up really fast, but we'll keep posting stuff there. And in addition, we'll be running games on Start Playing. So if you want to if you want to play in games of Daggerheart with any of us, join the Discord, where we will basically post all of our games. I think Adam was talking about taking up some Learn to Plays.
Might start looking into it.
Yeah.
Probably not right this second, but
Yeah.
hopefully, maybe by the end of this year, you might see me on there.
So, but yeah, that's our announcements though. Let's jump into this. I'll drive this first part, and then we'll kind of see who goes from there. But GenCon 2025 was packed with all sorts of Daggerheart reveals. Way too many things to really be condensed down into just text. So we're just going to talk about everything that's been kind of revealed, and kind of breaking it down one by one. We all have a set of notes for everything because I was like, there's way too many things. We have to write this down somewhere. So yeah. First one, whoever has it first pulled up.
Yeah, I got it right here. First one is the class packs being announced. Basically, Darrington Press said, "Hey, we know we told you we weren't going to do a Kickstarter, but this is something everyone wanted. So they're starting a Kickstarter to get the class packs for Daggerheart, which essentially is like each class is going to get their own little deck of cards, and it's could be a useful tool if like, hey, I want to play Wizard. Well, here's your pack. It has everything you'll need from levels 1 to 10. Each kit has 76 cards. Yes, 76 cards per class. So it's going to have everything in your domain. It's going to have your level up features or like your level up advancements. Yeah, so it's a pretty good tool, and I hope they keep it rolling. Really, I guess for me personally, since I have all those cards already, or I believe right with the box. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to have just supplements for the new classes that come out.
Yeah, I think for all the stuff you already have, you really don't need it if you have the core book. But I think it does set a good precedent for if somebody wants to just buy the assassin, they can just buy the assassin. It comes out of the void. I'm always hesitant a little bit with it because D&D did something like this where they had like those cleric spell packs and it didn't do so well. Every time I went to my LGS, it was always on the shelf. No one would ever buy them. And you like 2 people maybe who use them. So, yeah. I'm interested to see
those existed for D&D.
They did, but they weren't really like everyone just used D&D Beyond, but they were basically cards that were just the spells. But the class kits, from what I understand, do come with one of every ancestry, one of every community, from the base game. And also, I think it helps if you ever lose a card, you can just buy a pack instead of buying the whole entire book again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me because I know like in D&D Beyond, you used to be able to just buy pieces from like a source book. You're like, hey, well, like what's the popular one? Silvery Barbs that came out later. No one cared about the book it came in. They just wanted Silvery Barbs. I don't know. I don't think this is what is going to happen with that though. It didn't sound like that's the way they're going to go. It sounds like it's just more so of a, hey, here's your whole kit. Like I said, I kind of already said it. For me, it's like, well, I definitely want like the Brawler card pack when it comes out. I want the Assassin card pack when it comes, just to have them all. But it could be good for GMs. Say you have new players and there's 2 people who want to play Wizards and you only have 1 Wizard pack, then you can send them, that way. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're fine. I think that's one thing that I think with class packs, one thing about it is I don't think everyone will use it. I think it's going to be a very niche item, even when it does come out, because I don't know about you, but I'm still mostly virtual. I mean, our home game's all virtual,
Mhm.
so I definitely won't be buying it outside of new supplements.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't think that with that. I think the only other thing is like it kind of does set a precedent for like third parties. So if you're gonna make a supplement, don't just build something. You kind of want to build out the pack, and then if you're going to build, say, I've seen some homebrew stuff like the I don't know, the Tinkerer domain or something like that, right? You have to build out these packs and get them
Mhm.
printing through like some sort of card company to then distribute, and it's not just a PDF. I mean, it could just be a PDF, but that's typically what people are going to want is more stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Homebrew kit.
Yeah. Speaking of homebrew,
You, I'm gonna take this one
yeah.
because homebrew kit for me, it's free, it's added on, but there is a little bit of lore to it. The homebrew kit itself was supposed to be in our core book. They intended to put those, I think it's like 28 pages of the homebrew kit into the base game of Daggerheart, but it was something along the lines of if we put this homebrew kit in the base Daggerheart, then we are going to hit over our weight limit, and then everyone's going to be charged an additional $5 for shipping or something like that. So they took it out because it was probably, and in all honesty, it probably is the one that could get taken out pretty easily. And now we have it, but they also added a whole bunch into it. I'll share my screen here because I think this is important enough to just like talk about enough. Um, where with the homebrew kit, I haven't looked into it. Have either of you?
I haven't. No.
Not yet, no.
As someone who's been homebrewing, I'm really curious. Um, it has that same style, and so we're kind of just gonna look at this all together. Talks about key terms, what exactly is difficulty, um, talking about spotlight, talking about moves. If anybody sees anything, let me know. Ancestry, art. I don't see anything
Ugh.
crazy from this yet. Talks about how ancestry feature should be a top and a bottom feature. And then it talks about how the top feature, hold on. You want to separate which one's the more powerful feature. Okay, hold on. Top feature is generally what this ancestry is, and the bottom feature is what this ancestry does. Well, that makes sense.
Mhm.
So, like, the Dracona Fire has a unique attack, and then the Dracona itself is hardy or enduring. I think this makes sense, and I think it just gives us. It continues to just tell us like what you want to think about. Features. You look at it. I'm blank, so of course I know how to blank. Okay, I can get with a lot of this. I don't think this is anything too crazy. Domains. Talks about the guidance, 3 level 1s. We all know this. Layout for the most part. I actually am interested to see on themes, on how they go about like. Hold on, I can zoom this in. This doesn't have to be this zoomed out.
There it is.
There you go. There you go, everyone who can see, because I also was having a hard time seeing. Um, so yeah, it just kind of gives you a little bit of thoughts about what you want to do. I'm trying to see if they have anything in regards to balancing. If anybody's looked through this, anybody sees anything that they're noticing. There's 28 pages. We're only halfway through, so I'm not gonna spend too much time because this is just
If you
us reading through something.
scroll up a little bit, it was just talking about like a little bit more. Yeah, spellcasting domains. So like
Okay.
if one domain has spells or books or something like that, whatever the other domains are should have something that synergizes with it and makes sense. I mean, if you're
Mm,
creating a character, I feel like that's common sense, but
yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And that domain should have a subclass with that spellcasting trait. Hold on. If a domain has spells or grimoires, the spell class that uses that domain should have a subclass with the spellcasting trait. Oh, I
Well,
understand. I understand. I understand.
oh,
well, okay. Well, with yeah, I was about to say with that, don't you? It doesn't usually say if you're casting a spell, use your make a spell cast roll, and that's just determined by whatever class you pick, right? So
Yeah, so no. Your spellcasting trait is dictated by your subclass, not your class.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Interestingly enough. Um, so I think this makes sense. So like, say you have something where it's like, you have a spell or a domain card that gives you a plus, or it gives you an additional, or gives you extra instinct depending, or for half of your proficiency rounded up, right? You probably want to make that subclass with the domain in mind, instinct based. I think is what
Yeah.
it's saying.
I think so. But yeah, what I was trying to get at is that you could say, for whatever reason, if say you want to take the Arcana
Okay.
subclass or the Arcana domain cards,
Mm-hmm.
you could make that a instinct based class, even though it's run by wizards. I mean, they already do that, actually, don't they? Isn't that already a thing with the sorcerer? The
Yes,
sorcerer take
with the
Arcana.
sorcerer, but the wizard is Codex Splendor.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Bad example, but
You're
my
good.
thought is you should if one class uses a domain that uses intelligence, that shouldn't stop that domain from being used in a whole nother class. If you're um what are we talking about? Homebrewing. Sorry, brain
Mm-hmm.
fart. But you can make that an instinct based spellcast. Correct? My
Okay, yeah, I understand. I think I understand. Yeah, I think ultimately you just have to be careful of when you're referring to traits. And
mm,
then if like, so say you create a domain like the blood domain that Matt created, which we have no information about yet. But if you have a blood domain and it says your it says something in regard to strength, but then the blood hunter class has nothing to do with strength, it kind of misses the mark for that domain.
yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. More domain threads. All right, trends, threads.
Threats.
Domain has demonic threads. Domain of tactics and body. Oh, 2 words should give you the thread. So when you create something, you should be able to say it's like this is this and this. Um. Okay, cool. Limitations for domain cards, resource costs, usage cost. A lot of this just comes with balancing. Oh, hold on. What is this? Using the color coded key. Let's take a look at how a feature is written. Remember, a feature's effects is in frequency with the character. Can use the feature shown up in different places. Okay. Trigger, roll, cost, range, ending condition, effect, frequency. Okay.
I've never noticed the color coding before.
No. I don't know if this has a color coding. Now I need
Oh,
to check. And now
I was like, well, wait a minute.
I'm assuming this is just their example.
Hold on, let me-
I need to grab cards. Which is why I'm glad more output. Okay. I don't think there are color codings. Yeah, there's no color codings on any of these.
Okay.
I think it's color coding for the designer, so that way they
Oh,
know to make sure you have a trigger, make sure you have a frequency.
So it's like saying if you're gonna make a card, make sure you're hitting these marks.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
it doesn't have to hit every single mark, but it should hit a good amount of these marks.
Yeah. You want?
Um,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Classes. Oh, good night. I don't want to go through all this. Maybe we take
Yeah.
another episode of like following this
Yeah,
guide and creating
break
stuff.
it down.
Um,
Yeah,
'Cause
this
I
is a
feel like there's a
whole
lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
this is a whole beast in itself.
Yeah, this is a whole thing. Okay, adversaries is something that I do want to look at a little bit. Hit points, because I am curious to see how they have hit points. Attack modifier. We know this. This is actually already in the book. This part right here, up here, for how these thresholds are for tiers. The hit points, though, I don't think it is. Adversaries will defeat in a single hit. That makes sense. Adversaries can be in one hit, but definitely could go down in two. Makes sense. These adversaries are defeated in one big hit. These adversaries are the safest bet in a fight. You want them to last a few hits, but not take forever to defeat. That makes sense. Tougher than usual. Take longer to defeat. And then the last one. These adversaries are the most difficult to defeat. So if you want things to take, if you want a really long battle, you give them 10 hit points plus. I
You
don't
were
give
running.
anything 10 hit points
I
plus.
was just about to ask that. Have you ever had a?
Well, except for the dragons, because some of the dragons have those what's it called? Stages or
Mhm.
phases, so they transform into something else. Um,
And I guess Colossae kind of falls in that too, because each piece has 4 to 5 hit points.
yeah, but when you go to Colossus, you're kind of expected it a little bit. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this makes sense. I actually like the idea of this. Most of my adversaries sit around this 4 to 7, 9 fairly rarely. So tech modifiers, all this stuff, scaling damage, figuring out how to do that. This stuff's actually already in the book under the adversary section. Environments, I'm interested here a little bit. Traversal, event are kind of what are the main things. Exploration, social, traversal, and event are kind of what you're looking at. Environment types, and I think that's hold on, loot is
Ooh.
important.
Mhm.
In our Beast Feast game, I'm giving out all sorts of. I am constantly giving this out. But basically, kind of talking about like what the terminology is. Scaling makes sense. Okay, this stuff's new, like
Hmm.
the bonuses you get in conjunction, so how much damage it deals.
Oh.
In addition, it's pretty standard. All the tiers basically do is just give you guaranteed damage. Secondary weapon features, nothing too crazy. Kind of talks a little bit about possible features. I'm curious to see if they have prices. That's what I think is what I would like to know.
I
Yeah,
think that's the only
that's
thing that doesn't really. It feels very loose. Is like just handfuls of gold. It's like, well,
Yeah, and I think for most games of Daggerheart, they kind of go along the idea that you should barter for your things, rather than just like keeping a strict do you have this much money or not. Um, and honestly, it's kind of nice because I hate having all sorts of all the money in the world.
there's some realism in there too. Like
Yeah.
if you have hordes of money just on your person, it's like, well, how are you carrying around,
Mm-hmm.
8,000 pieces of
uh,
silver?
bag of holding. Okay.
Okay, well,
Okay,
if you
if
don't
you
have one.
get the portable bag or whatever it's called,
I don't know. Is there a bag of holding thing in
it's
Daggerheart?
non-trademarks called something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hold
But yeah,
bag,
The
hold
bag
bag.
that holds.
the bag of space.
Campaign frames. We've kind of already seen how this all works. Everyone knows all the campaign frames come with a title, a concept, a complexity rating, a pitch, a
Yeah.
theme, a touchstone.
Yeah. If you read through the book, it has all these big bold and
Yeah.
um,
Building an inciting incident, I think, is interesting. Building distinctions, I think, is interesting. It probably gives some extra guidance there. But yeah, looks for the most part. Um, it gives some extra pieces of information, but nothing too crazy. Like everything, it really just makes it so that way. It's really just, I think, the purpose of the homebrew kit is when someone picks up a product, whether you wrote it or whether Darrington Press wrote it, they know it's a Daggerheart product just by how it reads, and
mhm.
just keeping the consistency for the player or the consumer that's taking that piece of media. So, anyways,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting as someone who doesn't do any homebrew. It's like it's nice to like, oh, I'm not just gonna build a one-handed weapon that does the D20 damage and a tier 1, right? You're
Sure.
just
Yeah.
guidance.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's our next topic? I lost my sheet.
You get
The
section 3.
Romantasy and
Yeah.
Age of Umbra.
Okay.
I'm not gonna touch Age of Umbra, but I can touch the Romantasy.
You touch on the
I-
Romantasy.
I
'Cause
bet
we
you
actually
I
got
bet
some
you
insider-
would.
Like
I bet
we
you
got some
would.
insider knowledge, and I was paying attention, but I think I was fried when we were talking to Elise on Thursday.
Mm,
Were you following with exactly what Romantasy is about?
Yes. So the
Okay, cool.
Romantasy, there's, to my memory, which might not be perfect, there's like 6 families that run the city of Lumisara.
Yes.
And essentially, the campaign frame is set in a time where you are coming to this city during their matchmaking season, the time of the year where they, you know, mingle and whatnot. It's real magical. There's all the different houses have, one's run by 2 brothers, one's run by 3 siblings, one's a husband and wife, one's old dude. They all kind of have different backgrounds and histories and everything, and you're kind of there um, in a time, I guess, where part of the goal of your party is to choose kind of what house you want to back and what house you want to be a part of. And um, my wife has read a lot of the Romantasy books out right now, so I know minimal, but a smidge.
mhm.
But yeah, I think this is honestly, I'm sure a lot of people will really enjoy it, but it's definitely hitting on a very popular thing happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm terrible at cutting people off. It's my ADHD. Um, it sounds like it's more politically inclined, I think, because it's about selecting your house and making sure your house goes into power by any means necessary. Is kind of the vibe I got from Elise when we were talking to her about it. So you don't have to uh, romance your friends or your GM, but you can. And there's a
Yeah,
mechanic for it now.
it's not like explicitly sexual romance. It's putting yourself with the right people, and
Sure.
I think it is more political. I will say that that is something that we have not done very much of. I think
We
Daniel
have
has
not
only.
touched at all.
Well, no, you romanced me once.
Okay.
You romanced
Okay.
one of my
Yes, I guess you
characters,
have had been romanced by one of the characters. I remember that.
Kale.
But
It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
we have not
Oh
done.
yeah,
Not for right now.
yeah. Sorry.
I will say from my perspective, as soon as this was announced, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this because this is not my genre. And AJ, I know that this is not your cup of tea either.
Not
Normally,
not normally. The way I would run this would be more Game of Thronesy or like Bridgerton style, where it's a power struggle and there's more ways to gain power than just combat. So I don't.
I'm interested to see what the mechanics look like though.
Yeah,
Because we've seen the mechanics from Five Banners Burning, where it's basically you just get bonuses depending on who you're interacting with. And I kind of feel like that's the best way to do this, but I don't really know how it's going to go mechanically. Like, do you get bonuses for being in a relationship with a specific house? I would think so, right?
I feel like that was mentioned actually. Like if certain houses, if you pledge allegiance, and you would get a bonus when talking to people of those houses. But I think that's just it's all speculation, right? We need to see a little bit more to really give a.
We're actually a far way away. I mean, it's 2026, so it could be early, later, mid 2026. We're not getting it this year. We're getting it later on. Um, but I will say this has made me, because I originally did not care much. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. I did not really care to read Tusk Love. Now I might read Tusk Love because it's a frame inspired by it.
Is it an actual book now?
Yeah, Tusk. So
They made a book?
Yes. The fake book that Jester and Ford had in campaign 2 became
They-
a real book.
They wrote
And
a.
the real book now is a inspiration for a campaign frame for people to play in.
Interesting.
Wow, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah. What I can talk about is the second part of this section, which is Age of Umbra 2. Age of Umbra 2, I can definitely get into. So, I'm going to first preface spoilers for Age of Umbra, because I'm going to talk about slight recaps of what happened, because none of you two have watched all of Age of Umbra, if any at all.
I'm like half a episode away from finishing.
Okay. I will say, what I really love about Age of Umbra is Matt is going to kill them. Like, Matt is not afraid of killing his players in this campaign frame. And I'm glad he isn't, because it has made the game so interesting, especially for me, who loves gritty games. I love it when a player goes down. Not because I want the player, I love it when a PC goes down. Not because I want enjoy the player's misery, but because I know that, like, this is a consequence, and we're playing a game that has consequences. I like tension. I like all that stuff. So I was really excited to hear Age of Umbra 2, especially because another one later down the line, we know that Matt's not going to be GM in Campaign 4. So,
Right.
but yeah, I'm. How do you all feel about? Because that's basically all I want to talk about for Age of Umbra 2. There's another new season with a lot of the players dying or dead. We're definitely going to have new characters in Age of Umbra 2, if not new players in Age of Umbra 2. So I'm interested to see who comes in. But yeah, I'm, with these two settings, and either one of you feel any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to see so many PCs go down. I don't know if that's for everyone playing Daggerheart. Some people want the hero fantasy and, obviously have challenging battles, but, overall come out on top. Hey, totally cool, totally awesome. I'm there. I like that too. But it has inspired me as a new GM to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to find the right people and I'm going to kill them. So watch out if you play in one of my games, especially if it's an Age number. I'm not holding back.
If they die, they die. And
If they
that's
die,
a
they
risk
Tell
you're
die.
willing
every
to take.
GM that GMs for me, it's like, please try and kill me, because I will make it my. I will not just let you kill me, but I want
Yeah.
to die.
Yeah.
So. All right, section 4. Man, there's so many, like, we already know. So we're talking about Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford joining Daring Press. We knew that this was happening before GenCon. We didn't know what they're working on. I think I can just talk. I'll just say what it is, and then we can kind of talk through it. But Jeremy Crawford is working on a setting that is or a setting for Daggerheart, and the way that he described it, like a full campaign setting, is it's devilishly exciting, or it's hellish, something like that. But he's been hinting at infernals, which, given his work in Descent to Avernus, I can only imagine that there's going to be a lot of inspiration there.
Makes sense.
Chris Perkins is working on a adventure and a campaign frame that is going, or what I understand it to be, and I might be wrong, is it's going to take one of our campaign frames, one of the 6 ones we have, and build an adventure from one of them. That's how I understand it.
That's how I also understood it. It was definitely felt like more of a source book as opposed to just a frame that was coming out. So like a full adventure, book that we that we all know and love. And I think that's what I understood too. So I think we're on the same page.
Really like expand it out and make it so it's a whole world and not just something that you're gonna accomplish in a couple sessions.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm curious about, is that are they gonna make Daggerheart like a world of Daggerheart? Like where all these
That's-
campaign frames fit into one world, or
No, I don't know if they're gonna make all these campaign frames are in one world, but maybe there's now a base setting. So now we have a Faerun, right? Or now we have a Forgotten Realms.
yeah,
Like this is the base setting. But and I don't think I even put in our notes, we also have Keith Baker and Jenn Ellis who are working on another setting for Daggerheart specifically. So we're gonna get an Eberron-esque, well, not Eberron-esque in terms of like style, but we're definitely gonna get Eberron in, or an Eberron level of commitment from Keith Baker and Jenn Ellis. Also, thanks to Zane who has been here and chiming in on some of our chats. Yeah, we're interested to see exactly what this devilishly scary thing is too. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's that's just news. That's what we go, and we can keep moving.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, who wants to take the next one?
Partnerships for actual plays. The Legends of Avantris has said that they're going to be starting a mini series. Did they say a number of sessions? Like
3.
3? Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
3. Very cool guys. I met them at their booth.
Oh, nice.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not see them. I only saw Mikey in the Marriott one time. But
So they're doing a mini series of 3 sessions in Daggerheart. Dungeons and Daddies is doing a one-shot, which I need to watch Dungeons and Daddies because I have not. But I anticipate that I know I haven't watched a lot of things. All right,
I watched their first season. Admittedly, I have not watched season 2. Season 1 was perfect. Season 2 took a little bit to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a one-shot, and then bonus action is switching to Daggerheart for Volume 3.
Yeah, I don't know anything about bonus action.
Yeah, but I was just about to say I don't either.
But I looked them up, and they are a D&D podcast, and I guess they're just full switching, which is... I think the craziest part about all of this, is the fact that these are not only is Critical Role shifting away from D&D, but we have now fully stated... And Legend of Avantris, I think, is the second biggest media campaign Dungeons and Dragons outlet that we have, and that's going to be now using Daggerheart or trying Daggerheart. Dungeons and Dragons is probably the largest Patreon TTRPG or Let's Play that is out there, and that's swapping. And now bonus action is switching. They're just full sending on Daggerheart, which is a big deal. Like whatever, and I think that's why we titled the stream the Daggerheart era, because or at least the thumbnail was called like the Daggerheart era, because this is kind of jumping into a place where D&D is being dethroned to an extent.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean D&D's been the top dog for so long, and to see so many big names just say, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna go with a technical indie group and run their game, and that's what we're gonna put out to all thousands and thousands of people who listen to us." Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So speaking of this, kind of jumping into just all the new products, I missed this section live, but I rewatched it. We're getting Hero for its Ancestries. We're getting Ribbit, Fungirl,
And
Clank?
Clank. That's right.
Clank, yeah.
Those are the 3, and Fairy.
That's
So
yeah,
we're getting
very.
those 4 Daggerheart Ancestries and the character builders as part of like one add-on product. So if you're just there for Daggerheart, you can just do that. We're getting new dice from Dispel. Such great dice, and I'm probably gonna, as soon as it drops, purchase a set. Misty Mountain
Same.
Botch dice.
And
we're
also, if you don't want to spend that much money on dice, you can get these.
The serious
Maybe you can
dice.
see those.
Serious dice.
Serious dice is like $20 and gets you a little tube and your hope and fear.
Yeah.
Yep.
For the people who don't want to spend that much money.
Yeah, yeah, it's a problem.
I know it's not you, but some of us.
There's an art book coming from Inside Editions. And then I already talked about the Keith Baker and Jenn Ellis like world, whatever they're gonna come up with. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts about like what is Daggerheart missing that need in terms of like a fantasy that we don't currently have that Keith Baker, the creator of Eberron, might end up creating? Because he wanted to create something completely different, is what he said.
See, here's the thing. I don't actually know a ton about Eberron. Hey, it's okay. It's sorry. At least I know what Critical Role is. Okay.
Hey, I know what Critical Role is too.
But just in general, something that a power fantasy that I would like to see is space. I like Star Warsy. I like outer space ship combat potentially. Something along those lines. I wanted it to be Space Jammer in D&D, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't.
Spelljammer was kind of
Or Spelljammer, yeah.
I think I like the idea of the, like, you've got Magic Punk on here, something like that, where it's more, kind of like the campaign or the one shot we did with Dodaborn, something similar in that kind of starting to augment your bodies and stuff, and there's a lot of AI and a lot of technology in the world, but also it's not everything in the world. Also, I'm a Warhammer fan as well, so I think about like the tech priests and the Magos and like that. These are the guys, like, if we make a world around that, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I mean, as the person who basically created the world on the spot for our Dodoborn one shot, I have been constantly thinking about that world over and over again.
Yeah. Same.
So to think about something in that level of grittiness, because I really like having conflict that is gray. I like having like the idea that we need to, like, well, there's no perfection in constant progress, but there's also no perfection in constant tradition. Like, and there's no right and wrong in between who is right. And so I think having a very morally gray world would be really interesting, because I don't think we have that in Daggerheart yet.
Yeah, I was about to say that even just that one shot, it definitely led to it didn't really seem like there's a bad guy or a good guy. It was just kind of choose what you will. And I think that leads to very interesting role play and character choices and character conflicts, perhaps. And
my character creation was a literal priest of one of the gods, and by the end of the session, I was like, I don't know. And I did not mean for that to happen. That was not my intent at all. And I was like, in 3 hours, I'm like, maybe this isn't the right thing.
Yeah. So I think that'd be really interesting, because at least from now the campaign frames are, there is something that's evil, you don't like it. And you can always spin and twist things as you wish. I think Witherwilds is one that is kind of has a little bit more grayness, at least, but that's also because I'm putting a lot more grayness into it. And then our last real big section is what was shared on at the live show. This was my number one moment of the con of GenCon, which I'll say after we shout out Wannen. Thanks for joining. We are also really hyped about the art book, and we're really excited to see what you have planned, because I know that you've been coming out with those character packs.
oh yeah, I need to go back and look. I haven't looked in a while. I was actually just thinking about the other day. It's like, I wonder what he's got, because if I give you all my money for everything Daggerheart, I'm going to. So just keep that in mind. You're always going to have a customer in me, or a supporter in me. So he's awesome. Go check him out.
Yeah,
he's also in our Discord.
He's also in the Discord. But yeah, so biggest thing, campaign 4 was announced. Premiere date October 2nd, which is really close. Like that's
Yeah.
less than 2 months technically, but 2 months is not far. Like that will
Mm-mm.
creep up fast. And it's Brennan Lee Mulligan as the GM. Matt Mercer will be a player, so I'm super hyped already. But the one question is, what system will it be? Because everyone's asking what system it will be. I mean, we're all impartial, or we're all very much biased that it has to be Daggerheart.
Um,
I
yeah,
mean,
I think.
could it be anything else?
I, so here's, and this is total, just a theory. Um, is that Age of Umbra has been the test run to see what the numbers are on Daggerheart live play, and I think Age of Umbra 2 also be like that. And I think I think, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not smart or anything like that. It's just like, I think if Age of Umbra does well, then they can keep rolling Daggerheart, right?
And
But
it
if it
has.
and it has, but if it totally bombs, what do? I feel like you'd have to fall back to the system that worked. I hope not, because I love Daggerheart, but there's always a possibility though.
I'm really
Yeah.
hopeful that it's Daggerheart, but
Huh.
the pessimist in me is like, they know they have success with 5e or D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And so making that change, although you will get a lot of, I don't know, they're going to get new supporters. Most of the people who are watching and listening to Critical Role probably, there's
There are,
nobody who's going to start because they started doing Daggerheart. Most of us are
yeah,
already consuming that. And
and
so if they
most
switch to Daggerheart,
I would say most people aren't gonna leave just because it's Daggerheart either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I hope it's Daggerheart. I really do.
yeah,
And I also think all the stuff we talked about before lends to it, probably 99% chance being Daggerheart. All these big D&D names switching to Daggerheart and making those announcements. Um, yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
yeah. I mean, my thing too is I think it's really hard from a perspective of if someone is looking at it from the outside and they look at Critical Role as a company that has just made a successful game that's sold out for, at the time of it launching, 5 months, I would assume. It's still sold out by the time it's there. And they still choose to do D&D. The question is like, how much faith do you have in your product?
Very true.
I feel like you'll
Yeah.
get a lot of you'll get a lot of criticism from that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Um yeah, I think in terms of other than that, I think that those are kind of the major headlines. Um the only other thing that I can think of is like there was the Void. The Void had transformation cards, had some updates to
Yeah.
the Assassin and the Witch, but yeah, just a couple updates, nothing too crazy. Um and yeah, that's basically the news. I don't know. What for you guys, what is the most hype news out of all this?
Adam, no, okay.
Sorry, I'm thinking. You go.
I mean, it has to be Brennan Mulligan. I know that Daniel's also most hype.
Yeah.
Seeing him in Calamity gives me so much hope. Matt being a player is going to be freaking awesome, especially a player for a long time,
Yeah.
like a whole
It's not
camp.
just
Like,
a short mini series.
yeah. So I would love to see how he builds a character and how it grows and how his, and all that and his RP through all that. I think that's going to be so cool to see. I'm excited to see who's the cast is because that was one of the announcements.
It says new cat. It was a new cast.
Yes, as a new
So
cast.
Yeah.
who are we keeping? Who are we losing? I don't know. We talked about this a little bit on a drive. Like,
Yeah.
who do you think staying on the campaign forecast, and who's gonna just be an Age of Umbra? Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm listening to Calamity, and I am 3 hours into the first episode. I'll have you know. I like Lou a lot, so I would be happy to see him
Oh, dude, if
see
Luke
him hop
that would
on.
be so
Blue would be so
good.
great. Okay. So thinking about Dimension 20, my number one candidate for Dimension 20, is oh my gosh,
Is it the blonde girl with the glasses?
no,
I
no,
like her.
it's not Murph. It's the other person from also Murph, um, from NADPOD. Oh my goodness, Emily.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
What's her last name?
Chat,
Emily.
help us if you know who Emily from
Emily.
Dimension 20
Oh
is.
goodness, I'm just gonna look it up. Uh, Emily Dimension 20. Emily Axford. Gosh,
Yeah.
Emily Axford is my my number one hope. Will it actually happen? Who knows? Um,
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, she does cause really Brandon chaos in Dimension 20. Might as well keep it going at
yeah.
Critical Role. So
Yeah.
If I'm a betting man, though, I'm betting on Murph. That's just
yeah,
me. That's just my opinion.
I
Um,
I'd love to see Robbie Damon stay as a full time cast. I don't think that will happen though. I think he does a lot more outside work, obviously, with his normal voice acting stuff. So
So
he's a hot commodity right now in the VO
oh
world.
yeah.
that being said, if what those new people came in, who would you be most willing to see go?
I
I
think
don't
I
most
think
willing is tough.
I don't. Here's my
I mean,
thought.
somebody's got to go.
I honestly think Sam would be the one to step down, only only because of like life. I've been seeing a lot of his story, like his Instagram, and it's all about his kids and his family. Um, and especially, I can only imagine after cancer, right? Like we know he had lung
Yeah.
cancer. He survived. He fully he's he's fully survived through lung cancer. And I can only imagine that that takes a toll on the mind and like takes a toll on like what really matters. I think that's the one that in my mind um, would probably take a step back.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
Does
that
that
would
make
make
sense?
sense.
Yeah.
Um, I will say the two I absolutely don't want to take a step back. I want Travis and Laura to stay. I don't want them to go, but I also know they also have a kid
Yeah.
that's growing and they don't want to miss and everything. Travis is the CEO of Critical Role, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are my top two I want. I know
Ooh.
AJ. I know your number one is Liam.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about that. Liam and Travis. I'm a Liam and Travis fanboy. Um, actually, chat said Matt Colville being a player would be
I
that'd be so good too. There's
That'd
too
be cool
many
for it.
good
I think
players.
he'd guess. I think he would guess, but there's no way he'd play because he's
Oh
all the way
yeah,
down in Texas.
yeah,
Like he'd have to
Mm.
move to make it consistently. But he also has his own now
yeah.
tabletop RPG that he's developed and running. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
We also do have two more questions from the chat. One I can answer. Did you manage to see all the wild cards that were given away at Gen Con? Daniel did. He has all
Yes,
six.
I have them. I have all six. I can show them.
We did some wheeling and dealing for Daniel to get all six of those cards. Um,
Did some trades here and there.
mhm.
Okay.
And then the next question while he's getting those out, so how would you implement those? I'm sure there's a number of different ways you can. I thought of it more like like giving inspiration.
Hmm.
So it's like, hey, a big moment happened, yada yada, or the narrative calls for it. You get this card, and this is your card to hang on to because those wild cards are permanently vaulted after you use them. So it's a one-time use throughout the whole campaign, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. I have them. I don't know if the camera will flip the text because I know it does it sometimes. So if it's flipped, let me know. But first one is take your time. What's that one? And then
oh,
what's
it's
this
actually
one?
reading right for me.
Can you actually read that? Because I just realized I can't read it now that I flipped it over.
It's a little
Oh,
small and blurry.
well, it's blurred.
It's your darn card sleeves.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'll just read it. You or an ally can take an additional downtime action on the rest. Then place this card permanently in your vault. Um, this one is I've got your back. Looks like that. A little bit. Gain a +5 bonus on any action roll to make or to calm someone down, fire someone up, or rally someone's spirits. On a success, they clear 1d4 stress, and then it's vaulted permanently. Next one is In This Together, and then it basically lets you use a tag team roll without spending hope. That doesn't mean initiate another tag team roll. Like if you already initiated one that session, it just means you get to initiate one without using the hope, which is crazy.
That's nuts.
3 hope is a lot.
Yeah. Next one's community support. At the start of the turn, you place a d6 advantage die on this card. You or an ally can utilize this die on any action or reaction roll. And then when...
Free rally.
Free rally, basically. Oh, yeah. I'll throw this stuff on the Discord. So if you want to see this in more clear, I'll throw all these pictures on Discord.
Also...
Reinvigorated. Oh, good.
I was just say also, if you check out our recap of GenCon, we do go through these cards and the Menagerie art as well.
Yeah. Reinvigorated. When you defeat an adversary, you can clear a hit point. Especially the art. I think this is my favorite art of the set.
Yeah.
And then the last one is We Are Just Getting Started. When you take damage, you can gain as many hope as the number of hit points you mark, which is also really sick.
Mm.
Especially if you take.
Oh, we're just getting started. That's funny.
Yeah, we're just getting started. If you watch the live stream, that was what Elise said over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I do think I'm one of the very few that has Oswald 6. There's like currently a Facebook group that is trying to wheel and trade and all that stuff for all 6. I just made it my whole mission to just get all 6, and I just kept tracking down Elise or any of the other Darrington Press members after I realized, oh, these are limited and we're not going to get any more. But yeah, that kind of brings us to the end of our episode.
No, I'm gonna say the thing that I'm most hyped about.
Okay, yeah.
AJ got to do his. All right.
Oh, that's right.
I'll do the not popular one. Okay, you pick the good one.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna.
I try to let you go first.
I know.
I let you go first.
I wasn't ready. All right.
Okay.
Most hype is probably all the like dice making companies that are choosing to make specific sets. Also, you can get these online. These are the little Hope and Fear die from Critical Role.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
They just launched Monday, and so they're available now.
If they're in stock still, yes. I think it's cool that people are actually like using their companies and businesses to do something that directly is in support of Daggerheart.
I didn't even think about that.
I like being able to have one set of die and have my Hope and Fear instead of just grabbing this bag and getting 2 D12s and then kind of just doing that. Like, it's cool that there's companies that are committing to make things directly in support of Daggerheart. I think that's a huge vote of confidence for them.
Yeah, especially because for anyone who's done any type of manufacturing, that's a money sink, and you have to put money into it, and you have to hope that it's going to do well. And clearly, Daggerheart marketing has done well enough that they're like, okay, yeah, this is going to be big, and you should invest in this too. And honestly, once again, I think it's going to come into fruition. So.
Yeah, I mean, it literally broke the mold of what a set of dice is. Like, I didn't mean that to be a punny, but it was just like every dice making company has always built a D20 to a D4, and now you have big names like Dispel saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make 2 D20 that are 2 different colors." So there's a lot of extra work that went into this, and that's saying that, hey, they believe in this product. So
yeah, because the D12, unless you were a D&D barbarian, you never saw the D12.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's this episode of Sage Touched. We want to know what you were hyped about out of all these announcements. And you can always find us here on YouTube. Join the Discord down below. We'll put the link one more time here in the description. But yeah, if you just want to talk Daggerheart, go down below. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So we'll see y'all later. We're going to roll out with... we were going to roll out, but I am on the wrong tab. And I was going to roll out with the intro, as we always do. This is a horrible transition. This is the worst transition in the world.
There you go.
Anyways, yeah. All right.
See ya.
Welcome to the Sage Touch Podcast.
Welcome to the stage. Tag team strikes, we connect through the pain. Rolling 2 dice in the echoes of rain. Hope in my chest, fear in my hand. Armor all cracked, but we taking a stand. Stress building up like the stories we weave. Every experience a mark that we leave. Connection questions mark where we've grown. Not just in combat, but when we're alone. From campaign frames to memories lost. We paying for the truth, but never count the cost. This is Sage Touch. This is Sage Touch. Let the sage. Welcome to the stage. This is Sage Touch. Touch.